Okay, good morning, friends. Today we will discuss about the induced breeding of Mahasir. As you know, we are having two type of fishes on the basis of water temperature. One is cold water, and another is the otherwise tropical and temperate zone we are having. According to that, we are having two type of fishes, and from cold water fisheries. This mahseer is one of the most important fishes, which is abundantly found in Indian waters. And this is very beautiful fish and hill stream fish, which is found in Himalayan regions and is considered as most beautiful game fish. It's national fish of Pakistan. Not in India. This Pakistan has considered this species, this mahseer, as their national fish. Mahseer are one time they are considered that there is only one single species of mahseer, but as and now there are six valid species of mahseer found in Indian waters. Mahseer is basically belonging to two genres. One is important is this tortoise. Okay, and these two genres are having seven species. Okay, and three more species have been identified from southern part of India, one from this Odisha and another two from South India. But these three subspecies have not been recognized by other workers because there may be some morphometric changes, and these changes are might not be because of this because of species. They might be because of the radiation, because from one geographical area to another geographical area there may be some morphological changes which are known as radiational changes, and this these species which are reported at different species might be due to radiation. Okay, and this gen tortor has six species. This tor just main genre is tor, and this tor has six different species. One is tortor. This tortoise is found almost all Himalayan region, some plain areas like even this Rajasthan, even Rajasthan, UP, this Madhya Pradesh in Narmada river system. This is evidently available in all river system. This Tor puritora, this golden mahasir is again in Himalayan zone, and this Tor musula is again Himalayan. This Tor and Tor khodri and Tor masula. These are all again found in hill stream waters. Another species, Acrochelys species, is commonly called as copper chocolate. This is again found in very cold waters of Himalayas. The three subspecies which are reported from different river systems are Tor Masula, Mahanadi. This was reported from Mahanadi. This Mahanadi is situated in which state? This is from Odisha. Okay, this is reported from Odisha. And Tor Khudri and Malabaricus. This is from southern part, this west coast system. And Tor Khudri, Langipennis is again reported from the south part. But all these species are, there is some or other dispute because that variations may be because of geographical area of heat and other things, but they are not validated now. One individual scientist has recognized these species on the basis of morphometry, but now other scientists are not recognizing these different species as separate species. These are again considered now Tor Masula and Tor Khudri and Tor Khudri. This is the main reason. Okay, now what the term Mahasir? This why this fish is called as Mahasir? You know, this is basically drawn from the Hindi term. You know, Maha and Sir. Two words. Is, one Mahasir is coming from the two Hindi words. This is Maha. Maha means great, bada. Okay, Sir. Sir again Hindi term. The Sir means head. This term is Maha mean great head, and then Sir mean head, big head. This was coined from this word, and one Persian term is again there. The Mahi mean fish, and they use again the Sir. The Sir mean lion in the recognition of its gameness, because it's very important game fish, and it's very active and very aggressive. And that basis, that is considered. This is Sir. Sir mean the very aggressive and gameness characters having are known as Sir, and by using these two terms, that is known as Mahasir, and this Masula is again one species of this Tor group. Masula mean the big scale. The fish which are having big size of scale are known as Masula and Tor Masula. So these are some common pictures. This is Tor Kudri. this is tortor. It's abundantly available in all type of water Himalayan plain areas. This is tortor, Tor putidora, and this is golden. This is mainly available in this Himalayan waters. This golden mahasir. And coming to the reproductive biology, as you know, under reproductive biology, we normally study the maturity age, sex ratio, dimorphism on the basis of sex, and breeding technology, stripping or induced breeding and seed trading. These different topics are covered under induced breeding, and from this, the size of the fish. Normally, as you know, we are having almost 26,000, more than 26,000 species, and their breeding habit and even their maturity age is different. They are not uniform. Some species are spanning in winter, some in summer, some are spanning throughout the year. As in a very first chapter, I have described or classified the species on the basis of their reproduction biology. And from that point of view, this is again a cold water fish, very important cold water fishes. It normally attain sexual maturity at the age of 1.5 to 2 years, while this female they take a little bit more time. Not for this mass here. Almost all species fish, either even the weed fishes, some trace fishes, this important carps, minor carps. All species, the males are generally mature earlier than female. Likewise, in mahasir, it takes less time in case of males, and female it's a little bit on higher side. 3 years, females are always ready for spawning, and this one spawning year is earlier in case of this males. They normally, you know that growth rate is very less. In case of cold water fishes, the growth rate is very less. A kg of mahasir take near about 2 to 3 years to attain a weight of 1 kg. Takes 2 to 3 years in natural systems, and when it grow up to a size of more than 250 mm or around, you can say around 300 mm size, or that attains a sexual maturity. Okay, then sexual dimorphism. What are the differences between both the sexes on the basis of this sexual dimorphism? They are identified either this is male or this is female. Okay, there are certain morphological changes in both male and female. The very first is body size. When we are having two specimens which were bred in the same year or on same date, and after 2 or 3 years, if we see their size, the male will be smaller than female. Okay, normally the size of the male is normally smaller than the as compared to female. Likewise, head length in case of male is higher than the female. If we compare both mature male or female of the same age group, in that case the head length as compared to body relationship is higher in case of male than female. The ventral profile of abdomen is slightly straight in case of males, whereas in female it's arch type, is a slight bulging belly is there. That is because of that egg mass is higher as compared to testis mass. Okay, that is why belly is slightly on bulging side. On pressing the belly of a mature female, just simply the milk ooze out on slight giving slight pressure on the abdomen of male fish. Now on fin size, there is a drastic variation in male or female fin size. Normally the pectoral fin touches the sixth lateral line scale. Okay, you know lateral line scale, the scales on the lateral line. If we start counting from collar and end of tail, the sixth number scale, it touches normally sixth number scale, but in case of this female, it is normally up to the fifth number. It means the huge difference is there. This gap is major. One scale difference is major because the scale size is very large in case of mahasir, and the difference of one scale is quite considerable. This is for very easy to identify male or female on the basis of this pectoral fin size. Then tubercle of the head. You know, the both side there are two small hole projecting holes on fish head. This in case of male is very prominent in case of Mahasir. On the basis of that, male and females are identified. Okay, then body color. Body color, always these males in fishes and males in birds are attractive than females. Their color is brighter than as compared to females. Okay, in generalizing on an average basis, we are not taking sometime, okay, all males are always beautiful birds and fishes. No, but on an average side, we take when we take average, on average side, this is on higher side. The males are always brighter, especially during breeding season. They are brighter as compared to females. Okay, reproductive season. Reproductive season, actually, this is again very complicated. We cannot generalize the breeding season for this, especially for Mahasir, or not even Mahasir. If we take our Katla, Rohum, Regal, and three major calves, they normally differ on the basis of regional variations. In the eastern parts, this Assam onwards, they normally start breeding earlier. As this in this Calcutta, this Assam, they normally start breeding in late March or in April. Very easily breeding in April. While we move toward the western part or northern part of India, they normally breed in July, August, September. This is because of the climatical changes. Likewise, in Mahasir, its breeding season is very different from one place to another place. Even the same species, from one this Tortor, sometime breeding 2 to 3 times months, sometime in the July, August, May, June, and sometime in August, September. This variation is different. Even the same geographical location, same variation with water bodies, minor variation in water bodies. Make some changes in the breeding season. Even for some species, the different breeding season at the different localities are having different seasons. In Joshi, he's from this Uttarakhand, Dr. Joshi from this Haridwar. He has observed that this species breed in August and September in Jammu. Okay, and then Sahgal is again from Jammu University. He reported in 1970. 8 में जो report किया, he has reported that this species normally breed in May, June, and August, September in river Bias, and this is quite interesting that this species can breed in different season. Breeding season during August and September and May, June, and even July, August has been reported from the Himalayan waters. Okay, for this Tor Khudri, Dr. Kulkarni in 1971 observed breeding from July to September in Lonawala. You know what is Lonawala? This is Lonawala is in between Pune and Mumbai, and this is a private company farm, Lonawala Fish Farm, or Tata company is having ownership of this farm, and this is one of the very famous farm for this Mahasir breeding. Okay, and this Ahmad 1953 again has described that Tor Musla in river Mahanadi. This is again from this Orissa, breed in November, December. This is again a very typical period that even in the cold season it can breed in November, December, some areas. And breeding habit, as you know, this is riverine fish, or typical riverine fish of upstreams. And upstream, you know the nature of upstreams are very typical as compared to ground, this plain areas. Mahasir normally, as when it's fully mature, it just migrate upstream towards to get some shallow areas which are having the water depth of 13 to 14 centimeter of water depth. They normally swim up to the rivers during flood season, when flooding start, and migrate toward the breeding grounds. Their migration is normally for the purpose of breeding, not for feeding, but that migration is well known for the purpose of breeding. Normally, when it's spawn in shallow area, upstream shallow areas of the stream, it normally try to stay in that area, normally linger on their stay in that area for longer periods, and until the water normally recedes, they stay at that area. Okay, इसमें बहुत typical है, because in that area they get plenty of feed and smaller areas and lower streams, and their babies are there. They normally try to stay for longer time in upper areas. As the eggs are demersal, like other fishes, but like major carp, their egg normally just after spawning they settle on the bottom. Okay, they are not floating time or pelagic. They are demersal. They normally start because of the buoyancy. They normally settle on the bottom of the water, either river or whatever the water body they are having. They normally settle on the bottom. Eggs settle on the bottom, normally on gravels, sand instead of sand or gravel. If there is any loose mud, sometimes there may be in shallow stream there may be some muddy areas, and that muddy area when because of the demersal nature, when the eggs settle on the mud, they are normally damaged, that they cannot hatch it, the hatchlings. Okay. Fecundity, almost all cold water fishes are having less fecundity as compared to this warm water fishes. Okay, their fecundity is very less as compared to, our Catla rohum regal, their normal fecundity is now more than 2 lakh per kg body weight. But in case of this Mahseer of the same size of 1 kg, is having fecundity of hardly 7,000 to 40,000. Is very less as compared to warm water fishes. In general, if you take the fecundity on average basis, this is 20,000. Okay, this is average for different size, different localities. The overall fecundity, if we count, this is hardly 20,000 per kg of their body weight. Okay. Now breeding, normally in India, we are having 2 hatchery systems for breed this induced breeding, or assisted breeding of this Mahseer. This Mahseer breeding is actually done for the purpose of conservation, basically conservation. This for the conservation, or you can say the river ranching we are doing, or some reservoir we are doing ranching. This is normally not cultured in pond system or the raceway systems or cages. The reason that why we are not culturing this species in ponds and other things in India, because when we go for culture, our very first criteria for selecting species is demand of fish. Definitely, this species, like other major carp, is having a good demand in the market and fetching a good price. The second criteria comes to seed should be available. Okay, if we consider its own, okay, normally a seed is now available, but not in whose numbers, but in small quantity seed is available. The third criteria, what is third criteria? Growth rate. Okay, the growth rate of this Mahseer is much less as compared to other species, Catla rohum regal. That's why if we spend 3 years for growing a fish of 1 kg, and in that period we can grow a Catla of 4 to 5 kg. In 3 years we will lose 3 to 4 kg of fish. Because of that, the lower growth rate, we are not normally not preferring to culture this species fish. This is in Indian condition is normally considered as important game fish, or because of that we are conserving this important fish in our natural system by doing some control breeding, because the breeding in natural systems are almost disturbed now. And to maintain their natural population, we are breeding this fish under control condition, and then stocking or their seed in a natural ecosystem, that is known as seed ranching or reservoir ranching, what we are putting seed artificially. This is for just natural population maintenance. Okay, conservation of species. Okay, broodstock, normally for broodstock required for seed production is normally retained from either from the normally from a natural system. These 2 hatcheries, one is from this cold water fisheries, Bhimtal and this Lonawala. They are maintaining their feed broodstock almost for the requirement they are maintaining, but not sufficient quantities. They are maintaining their own broodstock, and they are also taking broodstock from the natural systems. The Lonawala, they are having a very big reservoir near the hatchery. Likewise, in Bhimtal, the cold water fishery center of ICR, they are having an Bhimtal reservoir is there. They are maintaining their broodstock in natural conditions as well as in hatchery system. That broodstock is normally used. The female fish, which has attained age of 3 years, and is at that time its weight is not around 900 grams, or you can say 1 kg, and similarly, the 2 years old males, which is oozing fairly on pressing the milk, are selected for induced breeding. And induced breeding for pond rear, so 3-year-old and gram inside into it, but male and female, they are normally injected after selection of male and female on the basis of pectoral fin and their bulging belly, everything. After selecting a male and they are kept in 1:1 pair. Okay, no problem. 1 kg male and 1 kg female. Sometimes we are using one male and 2 female. This no problem because its breeding is not natural. It's normally not spawning on natural way like in rivers. When we are doing hypophagism, they are normally after injecting 7 to 8 hours after injecting, they are stripped out. If we are doing this technique, in that case we can take male population on lower size as compared to this natural conditions, and they are normally injected like in Catnaro home regal. They are injected. This female is injected twice, first and preparatory dose, and then final dose when the first dose is given to male. The procedure is same, like site of injection, that's intramuscular or intraperitoneal, like we have studied in a case of common carp and this major carps. The techniques of injecting, preparation of doses, extraction of pituitary gland, all techniques will remain same. If some will somehow you are not explained here about the that technique, if you are asked to explain the breeding hypophagism technique, you have to include all the parameters which I have described in major carp rating. Okay, how the pituitary gland is obtained, which species is selected for getting obtained this pituitary gland, how the extract is prepared, how the extract is preserved. Okay, how the quantification is done. All the parameters you have to take from major carp or common carp. And again, the dosing system, the injection techniques are same. Okay, two doses are given to female and 1 dose to this male fish. Then you can also use some synthetic hormones. This is Uvaprim is normally used 0.6 to 0.8 ml per kg of the body weight, and for the female is normally taking on higher side, and male 0.2 to 0.3 ml per kg body weight for males, and when these doses are used instead of pituitary gland. Uvaprim, Uvatide, Bonopo, FS, so many synthetic hormones. These are available now in the market. You can use these hormones for induced breeding of this species. For male, only a single dose of PG is given, as I have already explained why a single dose is used. This is for brood fish cut from the spawning ground. So if not spawning ground, means natural spawning ground. If you are taking brood stock from the riverine conditions, when fish migrate towards shallow areas, upstream shallow areas, and we got from that area, and that time they may both male and females are fully gravid and they are almost ready to spawn. In that case, if we are getting our brood stock from that area, that is, there is no need to induce this species with hormone or synthetic hormone. Don't need to use any type of hormone. You just has to maintain the water quality, well oxygenated water, less depth of water, 0.7 meter or so, and just keeping the fishes in changed water, clean water, and for some time they become ready. Even sometime if we take this brood stock from the large rivers or sometime in dams like in Tarapurwala, they are just stripped from on side, and their eggs are brought to the hatchery for hatching purpose only. They normally natural brooders are not injected with hormones. Okay, male fish and male and females both are stripped like this silver carp and grass carp. The male fish is stripped and milk is collected very easily. The milk is mixed with like in common carp. This means this feather, this male and female milk is milk, and this ovas are mixed water and washed with clean water several times, at least 3 to 4 times. They are cleaned, and they are kept for 15 to 20 minutes in same water. If we just mix both milk and this ova, and with small quantity of water, they are kept for 15 to 20 minutes, because it takes a little bit higher time for fertilization, and after fertilization they are again washed 3 to 4 times with clean water, and after hardening of the eggs, they normally size hardened egg is 2.8 to 3.2 mm in size, and in case of this is not I Kudri, this is mistake. This is Tor Kudri actually, and its size is 2 to 3.6 mm in case of Tor Kotitura. This is normal size. This is always less than 4 in almost all 7 species. Consider their over diameter after complete hardening of the eggs is always less than 4 mm. Okay, now incubation. Incubation is not like our this major carbs or exotic carbs. Because for that we need some incubator. Always we need some flowing water or churning of water, because these eggs of major carp and this marsil are demersal type. They normally settle on the bottom. For this disturbing the eggs in case of major carps, we normally use churning water, this flowing water. In incubators, we maintain the water in the outer chamber, always in the hatchery. But in case of Mahasir, we don't need this Chinese circular hatchery or glass jar hatchery or this Hapa. We don't need this type of system. The hatchery system used for Mahasir is very simple. For its spawning, we normally use a small tank we can use, or Hapa we can use, or sometimes we can use up to a small circular tank of 2 to 3 meters for simply for maintaining the brood stock and taking out from that tank. We just sleep out. After obtaining this fertilized eggs, we don't need any type of hatchery system. Okay, hatchery, that circular hatchery, we don't need. We need only small systems of, they may be 2 by 3 meters or 2 by 2 meters or whatever size you can select on whatever is convenient for you. Size can be either circular, rectangular, round. We need only shallow systems of less than 1 meter depth. Okay, and in that type of systems, we normally what we do, we normally use small trays. Okay, small trays, like we are using some strainers for this purifying the grains and other small this wooden frames, small wooden frame of 4 inches, having a bottom with mesh size, either 1 mm bottom size, maybe of synthetic fibers, or that may be metallic, that may be the steel, whatever material you can take for this purpose. But we are using some floating type of trays, and these trays are fixed in small systems like this type of system, where 2.5, 1.2 meter, or even you can double the size or even reduce half size. That depend on the number of trays you have to install, number of total eggs you are having for incubation. The size may be varied, or you can replicate the number of systems. Okay, there's no matter if you are doing small tank or big tank. There's no matter. The condition is that for 20,000 of eggs, you have to maintain the water flow of 1 liter, okay, per minute. This is the condition. So this small sprinkler system you have to install, and the water flows to be very gentle flow, and you can vary the size of trays, or even the hatching tray you can use. And in case of major calf, the incubation period is normally that hatch out within 24 hours. It never take more than 24 hours. In case of Mahasir, this is almost 76 to 96 hours. Okay, it take more than 3 days in case of Mahasir. And in one lecture, I discussed that this salmon takes near about 2 months. Okay, that takes, the all cold water fishes take longer time for hatching. This is because of their biological habit. The incubation period for this Mahasir is more than three days, and this is the temperature. If we keep this temperature 19 to 24, it will take around 3 days. If you increase this temperature will be reduced. Okay, this again the survival will be having some inverse relationship. Okay, if you are increasing the temperature, okay, this is with increase of temperature, that this hatching time will be lesser, but your survival will be again and again lesser. Okay, for taking optimum survival and optimum hatching time, this is the temperature range, optimum temperature range for that, and this is the the time for the maximum survival of that. After hatching, there is some problem that there may be some unfertilized egg, because it's taking more than 3 days for hatching, and when you are keeping both fertilizer and unfertilized egg in the same tray for a longer period, that may attract some fungal infections. Okay, As and when in between you see that there is some unfertilized, you will be very comfortable to identify the fertilizer and fertilizer. There is a transparency and some whitest characters will be there in unfertilized, and fertilized eggs are always transparent. You can identify it easily, and some these unfertilized eggs are pipette out. With taking some pipette or some dropper you can take, and you have to daily you have to see in early morning or daytime or evening time. As and when you see that this egg is not good, you have to remove that. Otherwise, there may be some fungal problems. Okay. This is just some pictures showing the breeding process. This is male fish obtained from the natural water bodies. This is stripping this female, this ova. This is fertilized eggs. This mixing this feather with feather. This both male and ovas. This color very attractive. This golden type of color. This is, and these are the small systems where which are used as incubators for incubating this eggs of Mahaseer. Okay, this is a small tray, wooden tray, floating type of tray. It float on the surface of water, and these remain submerged not more than 3 inch. Okay, and 2 to 3 inches is sufficient for this Mahaseer, and after 96 hours you will get the baby flies. These some are coming out from this tray. Okay. And now larval rearing. Just after hatching, as you know, just after hatching, the size of Mahaseer larvae is 8.5 to 9. It's a little bit on bigger size as compared to major carp, and this is the size of spawn in case of major carp. But here the hatchling is more up to 9 mm in size. This is because it's taking more time. Always after just after hatching, this fertilization development is there. By age is now 3 days. Okay, and when we measure the major carp after 3 days, the size is 6 to 8 mm. So this is matching with that period, that growing at the same pace. During initial 6 to 8 days, larvae normally utilize the food which is preserved, which is available in the form of yolk sac, and by 8th day onward, hatchling shall be start moving on shifted from yolk sac to natural feed you have to manage. And 2-week-old larvae swim very freely in the water. After 2 weeks, you have to arrange all type of feeds, and by 10 days onward, its size will be 10 to 12 mm and in size, and it start feeding on minute zooplankton, small size of nuclei and rotifers, not this Cladocera and Cyclos. Normally, Nocti and Cladocera will prefer to have in diet. Okay, simultaneously after this period, you can start artificial feeding. And what we use artificial feeding, normally we are using like this major carp, the rice bran, and this mustard cake, this cake batteries, this rice bran and cake. Normally we use groundnut in case of baby fishes, and for bigger fishes you can use mustard, and even the cotton seed cake you can use. But for seed you have to use this rice bran and groundnut, because the protein level is much higher in case of groundnut, and they are normally made in ball form, and these feed balls are kept in small hanging buckets so that the baby fish can take their feed easily. Normally this attain a size of 25 to 35 mm size in a period of after 3 weeks normally it takes, and after that you can use this type of seed for rearing in rearing ponds, or this type of for growing up to fingerling size or yearling size, but that size is not stable for releasing in natural water bodies. Okay, for ranching you have to grow the seed up to 70 mm so that you can get maximum survival of the stocked seed. Okay, thank you. This was a little bit about Mahaseer species. Okay, now you can ask your any question related to this topic. हेलो
सर, ये फिश है ना, कौन से स्टेट में ज्यादा मात्रा में मिलता है?
अच्छा, स्टेट में कौन सा मिलता है? देखिए ना, मैंने कहा दिस स्पीसीज इज एक्चुअली हिमालयन. ओके, हिमालयन का मेनली आपका हिमाचल में मिलता है, और ये उत्तराखंड में मिलता है. 2 पार्ट्स हैं. दिस मेनली जो मेन जोन है इसका, तो मैक्सिमम जो पॉपुलेशन है रिवर सिस्टम जो है हिमालय की, वहां पे मिलता है। लेकिन नर्मदा रिवर में भी इसका गुड नंबर से मिलता है। और ओवरऑल इफ यू सी द पॉपुलेशन एंड द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, दिस स्पीसीज नाउ कंसिडर्ड एट endangered species. Okay, its population is reducing day by day because of just we are hunting this fish from the natural resources, and their auto stocking is normally failed because of the environmental changes, pollution of rivers. So many reasons are there. Now, some ranching programs have improved, but even though we are having a ranching program, their population is reducing day by day. Unauthorized fishing or some other regions, use of explosive in natural water bodies, and it's reducing day by day. It's now considered endangered species, but its population is distribution is wide. Even available in South India, Rajasthan, MP, every state is available. Okay, but numbers are less, and main population is available in Himalayan zones. Okay, next one.
Okay. Okay.
Any other question? Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
so what is the survival rate of this fish in the hatchery system?
Okay, as compared to major carp, okay,
Yes.
it's in almost every lecture I explain that this fecundity, okay, and this our net outcome, okay, those species which are having a very high fecundity, okay,
Yes, sir.
high fecundity, their survival is always less. Okay, either
Yes.
they are spawning in natural conditions, or either they are bred in controlled condition. Their survival will always be on a lower side until unless you miss all things on 100%. Their survival will be lesser. But when the survival this fecundity is less, like in this mass here, their survival rate is normally high because it takes less time, and when it come out from the egg cells, until another this baby, when it's inside the envelope of this ova egg cells, that is protected from the external environment. You simply maintaining the dissolved oxygen and temperature. It's comfortable. Okay, and when it come out after 3 days. Okay, and when it come out, its size is now around 10 mm, 9 to 10 mm. At that time, it's much safer as compared to major carp. Survival rate is much higher as compared to this major carp. If your fertilization rate is higher, whatever you are getting in fertilization, if you are getting 75 fertilization, maybe because you are doing stripping and everything, that may vary. Okay, if you are after fertilization, if you think of after fertilization, then up to hatching, the rate is very high. It's always more than 80%. Whatever you are getting fertilized egg, you will get more than 80% of the hatchlings.
Okay, sir. And sir, one more question: that is it right to say that any fish which has more period of that the time required for incubation is more, the survival rate is also better?
Yeah, better. I have given one example of salmon. Its hatching time is almost 2 months. Okay, it takes 2 months.
Yes.
And when it come out from the egg cell, its size is around 25 size. And the
Yes.
size of 25 is always safer as compared to the small 5 size. Okay,
Yes.
that easily consume the larger size. Main problem is with small size is that when the size of your baby fish is 6 to 8 and then what
Yes,
will be the
sir.
size of mouth aperture size? Okay, mouth will be now not more than 1 Okay,
Yes, sir.
in that case you have to arrange a special type of feed. Artificial
Yes,
type of feed it cannot take. Okay, this
Yes,
it's
sir.
very hard. In that case, you have to arrange rotifers, and culture of rotifers at is very typical job, because at large scale. Small scale in laboratory you can do anything, but at larger scale for feeding your millions baby fish is very hard. Okay, that's why the survival rate of fishes those are having larger higher incubation period is much higher as compared to smaller period fishes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
Sir, what is the difference between the internal physiology of cold water fishery fishes and and the fishes of tropical waters?
Yeah, that will be better to discuss with Madam Mamta. I am not fan of physiology. Okay, physiology definitely. Simple word I can say that temperature has a direct relationship with metabolic activities. If we change the temperature 1 degree, your metabolic activity will increase 10 times. 10 times means it is all growth rate, survival rate, everything will be on the better side. Okay, this is the temperature has direct impact on the physiology of the species. If temperature is higher, its oxygen consumption rate, its digestibility, everything will be on increase side. Okay, though both species will be having this different situations that because of the temperature.
सर फैकेंडिटी तो टेम्परेचर वो ट्रॉपिकल का ज्यादा रहेगा ना, ट्रॉपिकल फिशेज का
ट्रॉपिकल का ही होता है
फैकेंडिटी।
हाँ, फेकेंडिटी ऐसा नहीं है, आप उतना कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते उस चीज को, क्योंकि उस फेकेंडिटी के लिए बहुत सारे अदर फैक्टर्स भी आर देयर। कॉमन कार्प है, कॉमन कार्प भी सेम सिचुएशन है, दिस अगेन कोल्ड वाटर फिश है, बट दैट इज गिविंग अ गुड क्वाइट गुड फेकेंडिटी, हैविंग मोर देन 1.5 lakh now. Though some species of common carp, local strains common carp are having less than 1, but our Indian strain now we are having this Cyprinus Carpio is given more than 1.5 lakh per kg, what is quite satisfactory. This depend on species, not only temperature of water is related, is responsible. Other factors are there. Okay.
सर महाशेर को स्पॉट फिशेस क्यों कहते हैं?
स्पॉट फिशरी इसलिए कहते हैं, स्पॉट फिशरीज में यू हैव टू कैच द फिश by angling. Okay, hook and line, you have to use hook and line. If you are using this hook for catching rohu, will you be able to catch the fish from river? Okay, that will not come. Okay, this is particular riverine, typical riverine fish which is attracted towards the bait. Okay, if you are using some earthworm or some artificial bait you are using,
snail.
Yeah, the bait is having smell, and because of that smell, that easily attract toward the this hook, and this is angling is easy as compared to the species. Even in some parts the common carp is coming, but on an average basis this is more attractive, and again is very aggressive. Okay, when it comes to this hook is very aggressive.
Okay sir, okay, thank you.
सर क्या हम बिना हार्मोन यूज किए हुए ब्रीडिंग करा सकते हैं क्या?
इसका करा सकते हैं। ओके, महाशेर की ब्रीडिंग क्योंकि
नो आईएमसी का सर, आईएमसी का
क्यों नहीं करा सकते? किसने कहा आपको हार्मोन लगाने के लिए?
वो तो उसका सर क्राइटेरिया क्या होगा?
हैं?
उसका क्राइटेरिया
नहीं, you have to create the artificial condition, this natural conditions. If you are somehow you are able to create the artificial conditions and your brood stock is in prime condition, you have maintained your brood stock in pond in well condition, well fed, and all the this is gonads well mature, and that
सर हम हैचरी में ही कराएंगे ब्रीडिंग,
hatchery में
हार्मोन यूज नहीं करेंगे।
not possible in hatchery system. Okay, in Chinese hatchery or this or other hatchery type, breeding of major carp is not possible without the use of hormone. But if you are interested to breed this type this three species without hormone, for that you have to create a slight running water conditions, either this small this canal from the dam or other thing you have to use. Not because of that condition you cannot breed. Okay, in this at least in hatchery it's not possible without hormone. Okay,
पॉन्ड में हो सकता है ना सर, रनिंग वाटर रहे तो?
है पॉन्ड में अगर नहीं, मैं आपको कहता हूँ all three species, this Cutla, Rohu, Mrigal, and two exotic species, this silver carp and grass carp, they normally mature. Okay, in pond. If we start from right from spawn to up to their this maturity level, if you keep full spawn in a pond, they normally attain their maturity at their maturity age. They normally attain good maturity, but they will not be able to breed in the pond. or pond, or even if you catch these fishes and put your circular hatchery and start water circulation, they will not spawn. Okay, they need hormone. One condition is that they need stimulation, outer stimulation, because in this river system they migrate long distances in rivers. They reach to the shallow areas where there is a lot of sand is deposited on the shallow areas, and when the belly of the fish rub on the sand, there is some hormonal stimulation because of the high electrolyte and so many factors, thunderings and water quality. A number of factors are there which are responsible for stimulation. Hormone stimulation is there, but in case of this hatchery, that will not be possible, because you are giving just water circulation. What about the other parameters, natural parameters, which are required? That you cannot stimulate in control condition. For that, you have to give external injection that stimulate your hormonal system of the fish, that stimulate the release of gonads.
ओके
Okay.
सर,
Yeah.
ड्यूरिंग ब्रीडिंग मतलब कि हैच होने के बाद स्पॉन जब हो जाए तो उसको वो दूध क्यों दिया जाता है? मिल्क
मिल्क किसने कहा था उसको देते हैं?
सब देखे हैं सर दिए देते हुए।
किसको देखा था?
हैचरी बगल में है ना, मेरे घर के बगल में, वहां पे हम देखे थे मिल्क दे रहा था।
कौन से वाला मिल्क दिया था?
मिल्क यही दूध
नहीं, आपको जो दिखाया गया है दैट इज ट्रेड सीक्रेट होता है, आपको कोई सब कुछ नहीं बोलता। दैट वाज नॉट सिंपल मिल्क। ओके, एक ध्यान रखना। ओके, वो एग कस्टर्ड भी हो सकता है, अदरवाइज वो फर्मेंटेड मिल्क भी हो सकता है, काफी टाइम के लिए रखते हैं। देयर में भी सम प्रोटोजोनस, वो तो फीड मटेरियल, लाइव फीड की तरह यूज करते हैं उसको। ओके, सम पीपल आर यूजिंग मिक्सिंग दिस एग विद मस्टर्ड ऑयल। ओके, so many formulas are farmer formulas are there, they are using, but this is the trade secret, they are not disclosing. But
Yes.
normally a custard is used. That was of white color. Some Cerelac is, even some farmers are using Cerelac, not as such milk. Raw milk is not used. Okay.
अच्छा अच्छा, आज पूछेंगे आज।
ना raw milk नहीं होता वो, उनसे पूछना, raw milk नहीं होता। They add something, or the Cerelac or this egg custard. So many combination। आपके पास में कोई हैचरी है वहाँ पे?
यस सर, है थोड़ा बहुत,
तो
काम चल जाता है सर।
हाँ, जाना, उसके बाद बात करना कि क्या डालते हो आप। वो प्योर मिल्क नहीं होता, ठीक है, उसे मिक्स करते हैं।
ठीक है, आज पूछेंगे।
ओके, तो शुड वी स्टॉप हियर नाउ?
सर एक और सवाल।
या
सर, स्पॉन डालने से पहले हमको किन किन बातों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए किसी पॉन्ड में?
स्पॉन रखने से पहले जो थंब रूल्स हैं, थंब रूल्स में यह है कि द रेट ऑफ सर्वाइवल नॉर्मली डिपेंड ऑन 2 factors. Water quality is definitely one is a major factor. Other than water quality, availability of natural food in the nursery pond. Okay.
Yes.
Then predators. There should be no predator, either frog, tadpoles, snake, or aquatic insects. You have to remove all predator from your nursery. And what are the techniques for this eradication of aquatic insects, tadpoles, snakes? We have already discussed in seed rearing. What are those techniques? कैसे कैसे remove करते हैं? Eradication कैसे करते हैं insect का? Use of this soft emulsion, or yes, otherwise you can use synthetic Deotox. Okay, yes. There are so many techniques. This is main. If you are somehow you are able to arrange food and this control of insect, your survival will always be higher than 60%.
वो सर न्यू पॉन्ड के लिए बोल रहे थे, न्यू पॉन्ड के लिए।
न्यू पॉन्ड or old pond has no difference. Okay, though in both the conditions the situation will remain same. Even the old pond, when we are using old pond, they are totally drained before using during the seed rearing season. Before that season, monsoon season, all the ponds are drained out and they are again filled, like and they are using for rearing seed. If you are using your pond first time, or you are using second time, the management this protocol is same. So first of all, you have to clean all the obstacles or stones or bushes, everything you have to remove. Okay, you have to repair your embankments. Then you have to apply lime at the rate of 250 or 2500, depending on the at least 200 kg you have to apply per hectare. But again, you have to consider the pH of the soil. If the pH is less, you have to use on higher side. You are having high pH, then you use a small milling quantity 200, but you have to use whatever pH you are having. If you are having optimum pH, in that case you need to apply optimum. This minimum dose is 200. This is sanitize the pond 200 kg. Then you have to fill with water, and after filling with water you have to apply the organic manure and organic manure combination. What is that? Different scientists are using different combination, and I have suggested you 800 kg of cow dung, this 50 kg of the groundnut oil cake, and 4 kg of superphosphate and 1 kg of urea. By mixing all these 4 ingredients, their cell rays is applied in nursery ponds. Okay.
In hectare.
In a hectare area. This is for 1
Yes.
hectare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after that, before stocking your nursery with the spawn, you have to remove aquatic insects. If any aquatic insect is there, before 24 hours, you have to remove all the aquatic insects. And after that, you can stock your nursery pond at the rate of 1 crore spawn for this cemented tanks, and for earthen pond is 50 lakhs.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
तो बंद करें आज का, फिर
Yes,
मिलते
sir.
हैं.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Have a nice day. Stay safe at
Thank-
home. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.